Hello, listeners. Welcome to our first episode of the Sharebiology Entrepreneurship podcast series. This is your host Vinya, and today we are thrilled to welcome Dr. Saurabh Pandey, who was born in Uttar Pradesh in a farmer family. He is a visionary in merging scientific innovation with information technology through a real entrepreneurial spirit. We dive into his journey today, which created a tangible impact through his innovation. He has remained in the forefront of transforming a scientific discovery to a real world solution through his startup at Switzerland named Databaum. With his background in plant biology, he successfully navigated the intersection of information technology with his expertise. This resulted to form the idea of Databaum, which is an AI tool and that is extremely farmer friendly. This made it easy to the farmers to understand and foresee different kinds of challenges in agriculture. Join us as we explore more about this AI tool, about Saurabh's journey, his insights, and about the dynamic landscape of science entrepreneurship. So what I want to ask you as my first question is that, so yes, I we have all known about your background. It was all in academics, right? Now, how did this transition happen from academics to your entrepreneurship, and how did this journey start off?
Yeah, so actually, during my PhD in the final years, I was realizing that academia somehow is not interesting me so much, and I was looking for some options. I talked to some people, mentors who are in the industry, and they were like, there has to be a slow transition, and they recommended
Right.
to have a postdoc, and a postdoc where I am also working something like a part-time where in the weekends I can do or develop something in parallel. So that's how I started my journey. Yeah,
Okay, and I hope it's going great.
yeah, it's going good. It's a worth experience.
All right.
Everyone should experience it at least once. Yeah.
Sure, wonderful. And also, you have monitored the inception of different startups in Germany and also in Switzerland. Can you share some of those experiences with our audience? Like, how did you join the company, and what's your current position? What do you do in brief?
Yeah, so when I was doing my postdoc, incorporated my first family startup, I would say. It's called Maxtic in India, and it's more towards
Right.
the food tech industry. But in parallel, I was also working on some digital interventions, and I actually found my co-founder on LinkedIn. So it's very virtual world during the COVID times, so
Okay.
we cannot meet each other. So we both liked
True.
the idea that yeah, there is something common, and I understand biology a lot, he understands IT a lot. So we thought like it will be a good to work on something more on the ag tech sector, and that's how we started
Okay.
the journey.
Right. So we understand that you have already have some had some experience in entrepreneurship, as you already had some experience in India as well. Now you have seen the startup culture in Europe also. So what do you think is the major difference here, and what do you think are the challenges in related to this in Indian ecosystem?
Mhm. So I will fragment it into some subtasks. Like the same thing what I am doing in Databaum can also be done in India, but
Right.
in India the data is not very good quality, I would say. So our whole
Mm-hmm.
focus on the Databaum is towards the data analytics, and with that data bring value to the farmers. But in Europe,
Okay.
all the government data or agriculture data is very well compiled. So then we collect all this data from various sources, and it's very clean, it's very good quality. So it helped us to boost it much better in Europe. These things are still lacking in India. So that is one of the reason that we started it more focused only in the Europe and especially Switzerland
Sure.
to
Yeah.
start with. Yeah.
Right. So you say organizing or compiling data
Yeah.
is the biggest challenge in India.
So
All
yeah,
right.
and maybe I would say the funding wise. So here there are various funding agencies where we can get up to 1 crore, not with too much efforts, I would say. In India,
True.
we can get up from 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, but after 10 lakhs, it needs something very serious to start a company at
Hmm.
the pilot stage or ideation stage.
Okay. Got that. And also, what do you do there at Databaum?
Mhm.
Like, how does it help farmers basically?
So Databaum, data everyone understands, and Baum in German means
Hmm.
tree. So it's all about
Right.
analyzing the data for tree or plant health management. We, our
Okay.
main focus here is on plant health management, anything that farmer wants to understand. We collect all the data from weather station. We have our hardware installed in their fields. It provides a lot of data. Then we have our artificial intelligence or mechanistic models who are collecting, who are analyzing this data. And ultimately, we
Got it.
provide some information like when the disease is going to come in the plants, or what will happen in the field, when the rain will be coming in which format. So it's more like anything that farmer wants, from pesticide usage, disease management, irrigation management. All of them we make in a very user-friendly way and provide it to the farmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Is this an AI tool or something like that?
Yeah, so we are using the artificial intelligence, and the reason is simple, that this much big data that we collect, uh, interpreting with mathematical models or mechanistic models are becoming tough. There are different models which are present, but they are very specific for specific modules. But in AI, we get more power to understand a
True.
holistic view of the same package.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, and let me ask you this data bomb, whichever, as you told about the data compiling and all that. So this is very much useful to farmers. Now, how, like, can you share with us how many farmers really have
Mhm.
benefited and how much area do you cover with this tool
Yeah. So
under your
yeah.
organization?
So when we started the model, AI-based or mechanistic models, first we validated with premium Swiss institutes that whether it is working or not. So in 2022, we got the validation that yeah, our models for disease predictions are working well. And 2023 is our first commercial year where we onboarded more than 100 farmers. At the moment, we are capturing more than
Wow.
2% of Swiss grapevine area throughout the Switzerland.
Wonderful.
So this is our traction at the moment. Yeah.
Wow, really good, really good. Also, let me ask you, like, what does it do? Like, how do you, how do the farmers get benefited from this exactly? How are you getting the data? How is it happening?
Mhm.
How all this technicalities
Yeah.
work?
So problem which farmers are facing right now is because of climate change. We all are knowing these words, but actually at ground the situation is much more worse. Farmer sees like the pattern of the crop growing season is changing because just because of the climate change. So farmer ask
Right.
us like if this type of pattern is happening, what should I do? If this type of disease is coming, then how should I protect? When should I apply which pesticide so that it is legally compliant? I'm not over putting the pesticides, and how can I earn more money out of all these things?
Right.
And these are the problems that we address from our company. So first, we have our weather station. From this weather station, all the field data is coming to us. Then
Right.
we make disease models, what type of disease might be coming in the field. And once we have the disease model, farmer sees it on a simple app where he can put an alert
Okay.
like what type of disease is coming, when it is probably coming, what is the right time to
Right.
spray the pesticide, and which pesticides to be used. So all this information comes in his app, and then he acts accordingly.
Oh, so everything is in his hand
Yes,
only, like in the mobile
yes,
phone itself.
yeah.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful to know that. Yeah. So this, as you can see, AI has like taken over the world. Now, how do you see like these ideas are like coming and coming? Like, how do you see data bomb as, a different one or, a new one in this
Yeah,
AI dominated field now?
yeah. So in agriculture, a lot of companies are coming who are working on the AI to support the farmers.
True.
We call it like a decision support system.
Right.
But in my understanding, our biggest strength is with the trust of the farmers in Switzerland. So farmer don't trust any company and never provide all the information. But somehow we have built this trust with the farmers that they are providing all the field data, like what pesticide they are using or what is happening in their field. And this is the backbone of any AI model development. So this is what I think we have captured much well compared to other companies, and it's more because of the empathy that we feel for the farmers. So it's
True.
a very good relation with the farmers that is helping us.
That's
Yeah.
nice to know. Also, as you told, this is seeming to be a combination of biology, like from your background and even computational biology, I would say, the knowledge of
Mm-hmm.
AI and all that. So, this is all incorporated together, and definitely your team must be having all different members together. Now, how do you communicate with each other? And all of you come from different subject expertise, right? So, how is this happening?
Yeah, this is one of the things that any startup has to consider that different team will have a different expertise. All individuals will be smart
Right,
and how to use a common language which a IT person, finance person or biologist can
correct.
understand. So no technical jargons have to be used and everyone has to understand others' problem or others' strength. So this
Right.
is something which any successful startup has to focus, that everyone is onboarded and everyone is understanding each other's points very well. So this is something like core in the data bomb, I would say.
True, true.
Yeah.
All right. And as you said, like, the biggest benefit or advantage there in the European ecosystem is the compilation or organization of the data, which makes your work easy. Now, how do you collect this data required for your work or any application of your work? How do you collect, and what are different challenges which you face there?
Nice point. So first, so we have different subsets of data. The first data is the weather station data, like what is how much rain happened in the field, what is the soil moisture or wind moisture. So for that, we have weather stations. Our own weather stations provide this data, but if a farmer has any other weather station, those also is integrated in the platform. So farmer is free to use any weather station that he likes. So this
Right.
is the first part of the data. Then second part, which is quite good in Switzerland, is pesticide legally allowed pesticide or fungicides which any farmer can use. So there
Okay.
is a database in Swiss government and that is accessible to us. So in this case, we can provide like what is allowed in what dosage and what are the conditions when it should be applied. So it's very easy integration, which I think is still not there in India. So it's a something that we will try to develop for India. Then one more important data is the field investigation or field scouting data, where
Right.
farmer is putting the input, like what type of disease pressure is happening. So farmer is giving all the information that he observes in the field. It can
Okay.
be a photograph, it can be quantitative data. Yeah,
So there are different sources, then wide variety of
yeah,
sources from which you all
yeah, yeah,
take the data,
yeah.
and together there's some work happening.
So
Nice to
it's
know
just
that.
yeah claims. Yeah, so it's like multiple different databases, and all
Right.
of them have to work together to bring the AI to a powerful way. Yeah.
True. All right. Now, can you tell me this, sort of like we have seen the opportunities in India in such an area is really very less. Like I can say that. What are the current opportunities there in any agricultural based startup like yours in Germany or Switzerland, basically in European ecosystem? How do you think the opportunities are?
So if I understand it correctly, so point is like in India also similar companies are there. A lot of companies are there, and some are doing really well in Bangalore, Hyderabad, I would say.
Right.
And the trend will be more integration of the farm machinery and making more holistic view, like consumers are more interested like how their plants were when a vine or a apple came from the field. So this type of transparent data is very important, and whosoever can provide it very trustfully or transparent way, they have a very big opportunity.
All right. So,
And
what do
coming
you
to the
think? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, I'm
and
thinking.
maybe yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You complete it.
Yeah. So the point is also like there are some drone technologies and new smart farm tractors are there. So they will also get integrated in these type of platforms
True.
in which full automation of the agriculture can happen.
Hmm.
So this is where the trend will move.
So,
Yeah.
what do you think would be the future of such startups, like in the world and particularly in India?
Uh, in India, future is really bright. Whosoever can capture the trust of the farmers. Right now, the technology will be a bit costly, but I am quite sure
Hmm.
that down the line, the technology will be much more cost effective.
True.
It will start with some high value crops like grapes, apples, oranges, but it will also come to wheat, rye very soon.
Right. And also in India, if you consider like the farmers would be like it's very new for them to adapt to an AI tool and then apply all the techniques which you have said just now into their own agricultural methods. Now, how can, if at all, data bomb comes to India and if anything, they want to do in India, how can you overcome all these challenges in India?
So this is a very interesting question. And first point here is farmers, be it in India, Germany, or Switzerland, they are very responsive. They want these technologies. So we are getting really positive feedback.
Great.
And they need some initial tutorials or demonstrations, but after that, they enjoy it. Like I am
True.
seeing farmers, both sides, they put the rain data on Instagram and they
Oh.
send it to their kids who are sitting in somewhere else. Like, see, I'm also digitally. So it's a positive thing. I don't see that technology will be that difficult. Now, coming to your second question,
In
like
India, yeah.
if we come to India, so we
Hmm.
have done already some piloting in Karnataka and Maharashtra, like especially Nasik, Sangli,
Oh.
or in Karnataka regions. We can come there, but as I said, the database from the government side or what all is happening is not very good quality. So the
Mm-hmm.
algorithms will not work very properly. We are working on these works,
True.
and first we will validate everything in Europe, but then it won't take more than 6 months to be in India. We have very good connections with big vineyards in m- prominent regions in India,
Got
and
it.
we will be coming in India maybe in 2 years. Yeah,
Oh, wonderful. Nice to know that.
yeah.
And also, what is the biggest setback you have seen so far? Like it in your startup journey, the biggest setback, like you just fall down and come up once again. So, what could be that?
No, so at leadership level, always we see like all type of problems, be it from the farming sector or financial or business or
Hmm.
investment. So this is I would say now I'm acclimatized thanks to my PhD or research. This is one thing which
True.
I like because in PhD also it's the same type of journey. We don't know what will happen, but somehow we find something new and we are proud of that. So same is the startup journey, and
Right.
different type of problems will be coming, but the smart people in a team troubleshoot in a way that they all enjoy together.
Right. Nice. Nice to
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Also, what do you think are the emerging trends in the industry? This is definitely a very much dynamic industry. How do you stay updated with the dynamics? Like, every day you see something new coming up. So, how are you staying updated with this?
Mhm. No, so like in research, we read scientific papers. Here, there are other type of portals where all the things about startups or new trends, there are very good, especially coming from the US newsletters, which
Okay.
keep everyone awake, like where the investment is happening, what is the new trend, what farmers are not liking, which type of companies are not performing.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So, you're
So it's a
updated
whole
with all the
another type
information.
of, yeah. So there are very different communities who are just on the startup, and it's very vibrant community. So everyone knows what's going on in the startup ecosystem.
Got it. Nice. Wonderful. So you're always updated with all the information. Wonderful.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
can you provide a little overview about the financial strategies and what are the priorities of any biotech association you take? Like, what should they focus on really when it comes to the financial strategies?
Yeah, so what I feel in India, many people have discussed it with me, but people don't realize the financial planning or the importance of the financial planning. They just start
True.
as a curiosity to at ideation stage, it is still fine. but they should keep somebody who is well acquainted or who has a good experience in financial planning.
Hmm.
And actually seeing the balance sheet or the financial plan, anyone can sense like what is correct, what is going to work or something. So
Right.
make a good financial plan, build a good business plan, and then only go for proper execution. You can start something initially, but after the company is going at some decent pace, financial sheets are very important. And in India, I have discussed with many good companies. Somehow they ignore it, and this is dangerous.
That's true. And what do you think? What do the investors actually look like? What do they want to give grants in a startup?
Yeah. So there are two type of fundings for a startup. One is grants. In Europe, grant amount is quite decent in Switzerland as well as in Germany,
Right.
and it's more about team, I would say. Like who is saying and can they deliver what they are saying, and then
Okay.
the motivation, or are they really behind it, or it's just like a flu that they just started and maybe after 6 months they will get bored. So this is something, the perception of the founders, how curious or how passionate they are about all these things. Same is for investors. Investors also first of all will see the I would say the team, but after that, immediately they will go in the financial plan or business plan, like how much return on investment they can make. Whatever
Right.
they are saying, is it realistic or it's just hypothetical?
All right, that's really a wonderful piece of advice for our audience. One more question, like this is really very helpful for our audience whoever are listening. So, what is your best advice to any startup founder?
Yeah, so I always believe, like now I have a good experience on this, but a startup is not a sprint. You have to go like a marathon. So
Right.
at different stages, at ideation stage, you will need different qualities. At piloting or validation stage, it's very different. At a scale up, it's different. So you
Right.
have to learn all the things quite fast and build the team accordingly. And this, if anyone can do like in a constant way, this is very important. Not like 15 days they worked a lot, but then, oh, it's boring, let's close it or let's do something else. It won't work.
All right. So
Yeah.
whenever you
Mhm.
fall down, you have to, come up by
Yeah.
yourself. So how do you
Yeah.
stay motivated then?
This is good exercise from my PhD or research wing, where we
Right.
have to be on alone, stay focused on one topic
Right.
till we achieve something.
Right.
And this is very helpful on the startup journey, that there won't be always one or two mentors. We have like multiple mentors at the moment, but many times we face something which is still very unique. So how to navigate it? It's typical research.
Right. So that's a
Yeah.
great piece of advice. Also, let me ask you one more simple question, like which
Yeah.
is the best advice you have got so far?
Yeah, that's interesting. No, so there are, I have many mentors who have built multi-million companies, and they all have given very good advices. But learning, I would say. So keep learning because
Right.
the trend is changing. Keep updated with what is the new requirements and accordingly improve yourself.
So in simple terms, stay updated and we should have perseverance. So that's
Yeah,
the secret of
perseverance
success.
and patience. These two things are very important. And if you are passionate for your idea, you will stay. If you are not, if it is just a buzzword that people thought, okay, this is a new buzzword and we will work on it, in 1 year it will evade. Yeah.
All right. Got it. So that's it, Saurabh. It was really wonderful interacting with you. Really, yeah. Thank you so much for giving your valuable insights for our listeners. Thank you so much. And also, I think we'll be having maybe in future we will be having an association once again so that we can get more insights from you.
Definitely, Vinaya. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you and
Yeah.
all the
Thank you.
best.
Thank you.
Congratulations for Sharebiology. It's a wonderful platform.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.